So my name is Jenny Nuccio, and I'm the founder of Imani Collective, which is out of Mombasa, Kenya. And I went there first in 2009 and just kept being called back there. And so 2013, I sold everything that I had to go and start my Women Economic Empowerment Program. So I started with 16 women, and we now have 2 locations in Mombasa and over 60 artisans and staff now. And the biggest thing that my parents still, to this day, do not let me down, I mean, they give me a hard time every time I see them, is I sold my truck. And I am from Texas, so everyone knows that is a sin to sell your truck. But the beautiful part about it is it bought my first 16 Singer Peddler sewing machines. And Imani Collective would not be here today if I wouldn't have let that go. So I went in the beginning with actually this beautiful couple who started a school there. And so I went to work with their kids. And that's actually how I met my women, was through their kids. What I realized is the disadvantaged kids were coming from these disadvantaged homes with single, widowed, and disadvantaged women. And I said, well, what about them? You know, because I believe a woman completely transforms the household, and that can change generations. I just went and was like, well, I'm going to teach them how to sew. And it became so much bigger than my initial dream. And so I went, and when I realized that they didn't know their numbers, they didn't know their letters, they didn't know how to write, I learned that, okay, I can educate them, and education is empowerment. And so through that, over these 5 years, we now do this beautiful home decor line. We do not only sewing now, but weaving. And so that can all be found online, and that we also go to different markets, and we have our stuff all across the nation. So we have a whole program, I say. So it's not just employing them. In fact, when I hire on someone, I say, I'm gonna be your nosiest friend. So if you don't want me to be nosy and know your life, you probably don't want to be employed by Imani Collective. So we do home visits, regular home visits each month, just to love on their families. We have literacy classes, we have business trainings, we do a food program. I offer free childcare for my women for their kids 5 and under. We also have a whole benefits package. So once they've been with us for a year, we sponsor their kid. We currently sponsor 56 kids in school. And each year I tell them, hey, you have every right to come up to me and say, hey, Jenny, can I have a raise? And we'll sit and talk about it. I want them to be okay with and having the courage to talk to me about that. And so my women make way better than even just fair wages. And we do even like monthly bonuses and programs like that. So it's fun. When I went and I met these women, they taught me so much. They taught me how to slow down. They taught me how to live life simple. They taught me when I moved there and lived there, they taught me how to, cook over open fire and wash my own clothes. And when I would look in these women's eyes, there was hope there, but it was buried. And that's my driving force is I can still remember, like when they learned their first pattern, whether it was crooked and the sewing was really not so great, they still were so proud. Like they lit up inside, and their smile, and they smiled through their eyes because they finally did something and someone believed in them. I couldn't imagine if no one ever said, hey, I'm proud of you and I believe in you. And so I think underlying it all, like that's why I do what I do. It's to see those smiles. It's to see them get excited, and to see them learn and grow, and then to see their confidence grow. Because again, that overflows into their family and their community, and they've become, change agents within Mombasa alone. We have this new idea of just redefining ethical manufacturing and the way people buy from Africa. And so we're not for profit, but looking into the future of how do we provide better for them. And so looking at these for-profit models and becoming a potential hybrid of, hey, I want you as a buyer in the States or in Europe or wherever globally to experience a good Africa, to experience something that is not corrupt. I think, that's so sad that most people see Africa and they see corruption, they see inconsistency, they see not quality, and so they don't want to even touch it. But there's so many rich resources there, and so many people that have talents that are just untapped. And so I want to be that bridge. I want to bridge that gap for the buyer to the consumer. This is not just scaling in a sense, because when you put ethical and manufacturing beside each other, that sounds really weird. But I want people to know, hey, you can still make a lot and provide a lot of jobs and do it well and care about that whole person. And you as the buyer can know that person still. Whether you're buying 500 or even one, our buyers now, one product, or whether you say, hey, I want to buy like 50,000 of these, what does that look like? We can still do it in a way that's treating the artisan beautifully, and then you can still buy in a way that the transparency of what we do in our workshop and where we supply our things, it all. And so we want to bridge that so we want Africa to become a viable option for people. So that's kind of our new idea and how we want to expand in the future. So you can go online and you can, support financially, but you can also, and that helps with all of our holistic programs. And then you support just by being an advocate and telling our story. You run tons of programs, like I said, from the food program, the literacy classes. So even as I was telling you before, like this month alone, we need $15,000. So next week, looking for that. So, people that want to give in big ways that is truly impacting a woman, that impacts the home, that impacts the family and the community, we say welcome, our doors are open. Brene Brown said it the best, and she said, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you can't choose both, at least not at the same time. And so I would encourage everyone to choose courage. I think it takes a lot to follow your dreams, to walk through it. There's a lot of fears in that. And so get out of your comfort zone and choose courage. And it's going to be scary, but it's also, you're going to find the best version of yourself when you step into that.